In this section, we're going to talk about a special type of transaction log backup called a tail log backup. Tail backups are not required in all situations. This is commonly done when we intend to shut off a database. So for example, if you are planning to shut off a database at one location and then restore it on a different server, the last thing you would want to do before you shut off the database is perform a tail log backup. The term tail implies it is the end of the backup sequence. So here in AdventureWorks, I'll right-click, go to Task, and then go to Backup. In the backup type, I'll select Transaction Log, and on the Media Options page, towards the bottom, I have radio buttons for either the default of truncate the transaction log or back up the tail of the log and leave the database in the restoring state. So this is going to back up the end of the log and basically turn off our database. It's called in a restoring state, meaning it will not accept new connections and it will not accept new transactions. One other thing I want to do is change the name. I'll remove the current file name and I'll add a new file. I'd like to back this up to a blank file. I'll hit OK on the file name, hit OK on the backup dialog. I get a message saying the backup was successful. I'll click OK on that. And now next to the name of the database, I see the word restoring. And if I try to open the database, it will say it is not accessible. So in my hypothetical, now I would take all of those backups and restore them to the new server, restoring the tail backup last. However, in my case, I actually want AdventureWorks 2014 to come back online because I need to do more demonstrations on it. And the only way to do that is to go ahead and restore the tail backup we just implemented. So I'll click OK. I'll right-click, I'll go to Task, and I'll hit Restore. Notice backup is not even an option anymore. It's grayed out because this database is offline. I'll hit Restore, and the thing I would like to restore is a transaction log. That'll pull up an interface that's pretty similar to the Restore database interface. This is just the Restore transaction log interface. I'd like to restore from device, and my device is a file. To open the file, you need to click on the three dots button all the way to the right. I'll click Add to select the file. And here's what I called it. So OK to close this dialog, OK to close this dialog, and then finally in the lower right, an OK to run this restore. And it says AdventureWorks 2014 restored successfully. I hit OK there. And now I can, in fact, open up AdventureWorks. I might need to right-click and hit a refresh to see what's underneath it. There we go. If it doesn't come up for you immediately, just right-click and go to refresh, and then the database should operate as normal.